It's food for cold winter nights today on Let's Cook. Hi, welcome to Let's Cook, where we have a fabulous menu for that cold winter night. First thing we're going to do is we're actually going to do a pear almond tart. I have basically the ingredients here that we're putting in a pear almond tart. I have some eggs, I have some marzipan, some almonds. We're also making a pâte brisée, and we're using a little bit of vanilla and sugar as well. So, first thing I need to do is I need to make the dough. Basically, we're making a 3-2-1 dough, or a pâte brisée. The difference is one has egg, one does not. But I'm going to mix it right in the machine here. I put my flour, my butter. Now, when we call it a 3-2-1 dough, that means 3 parts flour to 2 parts, yes, not 2 parts butter to 1 part liquid. A little bit of salt in there. You could also add a pinch of sugar. All we do with this is we just take this and start to cut it up. Then as that's mixing, we just add our egg right to this. And this is going to enrich it. If you don't want to use the egg and you just use water, that's where it would be a 3-2-1 dough. So I'll add my egg to this and we just mix this up. Beautiful. Make sure you don't get any shell in there. Once it starts to ball up or mixes together, the dough is essentially done. Now this dough, if I take this dough out right now and I just pound it out, now I can just knead this together. And I'm going to need to allow this to rest. But see, we just pick this up. If it needs a little bit more flour, hit it with a little bit more flour, and you just work this dough. Once you've worked it, and you only work it till it barely comes together, that's it. You need to allow it to rest. Let me just get this out of the way now, because I already have one done, and I'm going to roll it out, and I'll show you what this looks like. But just, can we get a close-up on this dough? Because I just need to show them the beautiful texture that this dough has. Isn't this beautiful? And it just has a great feel to it as well. So this dough is now good to go. The dough I've already allowed to rest, I'm going to hold in the refrigerator. If you take the dough out, and it's a little hard from being in the refrigerator, soften it with your hands a little bit, just to get it so that it will still work and it's a little malleable. You'll notice that this is going to be a very flaky dough, just like a short dough. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this out, and I'll show you how you put it in the tart shell as well. Hit it with flour, move it around, making sure when you go like this and you move it around, you're making sure that that flour is all the way underneath. Then you turn it over, get rid of your excess flour. Now we roll this out. Whenever you're rolling dough out, roll it from the middle out. Also, every once in a while, pick up the dough, move it around. Why? One arm is stronger than the other. We all have a dominant arm. Just roll this out, and again, you're going to work with this when this is cold. Now, you have an option here, and what I like to do with this dough is I like to roll this out, put it into the pie shell. I can blind bake it if I want to. That means that I would take it, bake it in the oven till it was partially cooked before I put my liquid in. If I decided not to do that, I should allow it to rest. Also, see this little hole here? Right here? I'm not worried about that hole. I'm just going to bring that right over there. Just press this together. This is now ready to go into my tart shell. When I go to put it into my tart shell, pick this up here, gingerly, carefully, pick this up from your board, roll it this way. Don't pick it up. Put your tart shell right here. Then all we do is we pick this up, we roll it over the tart shell, gently pick up the sides this way, pressing it in. Again, remember, this is going to be very flaky, very rich, so that we have no holes in it. Now we just take our rolling pin, roll it this way, this way, this way. We cut off all those sides. Whoops, missed a spot. Remove our extra dough from this side right here. Cover this with plastic wrap and put this in the refrigerator and allow it to rest. I already have one done over here. Next, we have to make our filling. I have my marzipan right here. To my marzipan now, I'm going to add a little sugar. Also going to add a little flour. Splash of vanilla. It was a heavy splash. And then I'm going to add my eggs to this because this is a filling that we're going to make. So we just get our eggs right in here. Beautiful. And again, the theme of today's show is cold winter nights. I keep on wanting to say warm winter nights, but it's cold winter nights because this is a tart that is just so good on those winter nights. We'll just mix this together. Now remember, the marzipan that you're using or the almond paste is going to be a little tight. So you can work this right in a bowl, but you could also put it on a mixer if you wanted. Once I get the eggs mixed in there, well, good. And I've broken up that marzipan just a little bit here. You see the consistency that we have here right now? Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and use a whip and just really break this up well, making sure that I don't have any lumps in there. I want this to be very, very smooth. Okay, good. This is also very rich. When you serve this, you don't need a lot. Okay, this is now good to go. Very rich almond flavor in this. Now, next thing we have to do is we have to prepare our pears for this. I have a pear right here. When you peel the pear, I have some right here in a little bit of acidated water. That way it doesn't oxidize. Take your pear, start at the top here, pull this around, come around this way. And what I like to do with the pear is instead of going around it, I go from top to bottom this way, and I end up with a much nicer, smoother look to my pear. So I'll just pull this around here, and I'm going to show you an easy way to core these for this particular pear tart as well. Pull this off. Make sure we get rid of all of this here. So now it's nice. Now, I love the pears that I'm using today, but you can use any type pear that you want, or if you wanted, you could even use apples. I just find that pears go really well. These bartlets go really well with, with the almonds. We take our pear, cut it in half this way. Once it's in half this way, cut it in half again, so we're cutting it into fours. Then in the middle right here, all I'm going to do with my knife is cut across here, removing that core and where the stem was attached. And you'll see why I'm doing this very shortly, because this is going to allow it to sit nice and flat in my tart. Take that off. Take this off right here. Beautiful. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I already have 4 done here. That's enough. Now we're just going to take our filling now. We don't have to blind bake this at all. Take our filling here, spread it into our tart shell, leaving room for the displacement of the pears. Right there. Good. So this goes in this way. Beautiful. Then take our pears, small side to the middle, the larger bottom to the outside. Doesn't this look great? Gorgeous. Then we're just to tweak this just a little bit here. Put 7 pieces in here. Can I fit an 1/8? I think I can fit an 1/8. Just going to pick this one up here a little bit and put it a little further over. Get my last piece in there. Beautiful. Then I'm going to take a few almonds right here that I have right here. Chop these almonds up. And you can, I like to chop these by knife because it brings out too much moisture otherwise, or too much of the oil of the almonds if you do it in a food processor. Chop these up. Take these, just right in the middle right there. Just a few almonds right there in the middle. Going to take this now. Going to pop this in a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. Which I'm going to do right now. Right in the middle of the oven. Right here. By the end of the show, that will definitely be done. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, I have another cold winter night specialty I know you're going to love. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome to Let's Cook and cold winter nights. Food for cold winter nights. I want to call them warm winter nights because that's what the food's going to do to you. Got an email. Paul, what about Chicken Murphy? I'll give you my version of Chicken Murphy. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chicken, I'm going to cut it into 8s. To cut the chicken into 8s, I need to remove the backbone. All I do with my knife is I make a cut right here, I pull along the backbone here, cutting just along the backbone here. I turn it around this way, I hold the chicken this way, I just cut through with my knife and I remove the backbone this way. I turn it around, backbone comes right out. So my backbone is gone, expose the sternum, pop the sternum. Okay, that's the breastbone right there. Remove that. We turn this over now. Cut the chicken in half right here. Then right here we take our half a chicken, cut the thigh and the leg, separating it there. With the wing, I'm going to come to the second joint and remove that wing joint. Then with the breast here, I just cut this in half, going through the soft rib bones that are right there. With the thigh and the leg, come to the inside of the joint right here, right in the very middle, just cut through. I'll always go right through the joint. Show you that one more time. We took out the back. We separate our breast from the thigh and the leg right here. Open up our thigh and leg right here. See where that line is right there? Can you see that? Come in closer on that, John, if you can, please. See where this line is right here? That little bit of fat right there? Great. Just cut straight down there. We go right through the joint every time. Breast, right in half, just cutting through those soft bones right there. Beautiful. Now we have to sear this. To sear this, I heat my pan with a little bit of oil. I take my chicken, I season it with salt and pepper. Then I take and I put skin side down first, a little bit more salt here. Skin side down. So we're going to start in the pan here with our chicken meat, skin side down, not overcrowding the bottom of the pan. We just fit as much chicken in there as we can. As long as it's all touching, we're in good shape. We're going to allow this chicken to sear. I already have some right here that I've seared, so I've already browned this here. Once it's brown like this, I remove this chicken, and then in the bottom of the pan, this is where the Murphy gets going. In the bottom of the pan here now, I'm going to turn this pan on, get it nice and hot. I have some cioppino onions here that I'm putting in. We're going to caramelize these. Along with that, I have some sausage, and I have some garlic. We're going to allow that to brown up just a little bit. Now the onions are going to pick up a lot of the flavor off the bottom of the pan here. The sausage is going to impart the flavor we want, and we want the whole onions like this. Oh, this is so good on a cold winter night. This now we've deglazed with a little bit of white wine. So it comes about halfway up the sausage and the onions. Once this is done, we take our chicken, we return our chicken right into the pan. Chicken's in there. I now have some potatoes right here. I'm going to take these potatoes, which I cut very long, put them right on top here. My next step, I'm going to add my chicken stock to this, or broth. So it comes about 3/4 of the way up the chicken. Make sure our potatoes are down in the liquid there. Now we cook this covered for about 45 minutes. Beautiful. This is Paul's cold winter night chicken Murphy. I have one other thing to do right now. I need to make a little bit of cheese sauce for my macaroni ham and cheese. And the ham I'm using is prosciutto. The cheese I'm using is a beautiful brie right here. First thing I'm going to do in this pan here, while the Murphy's cooking, of course, in this pan right here, I've melted a little butter. Going to add a little flour to this to make a roux. Once that flour is incorporated, I should have no butter that's not absorbed. Once this is all the way absorbed, we're simply going to add some milk to this. But we need to cook this for a couple of minutes just to make sure that I got some flour here that won't come out in the corner, just to make sure that we get rid of the moisture out of the flour. To this now, I'm going to add my milk. Add about 3/4 of my milk right there. All I do now is I stir this till it comes up to a simmer, it thickens up. Making sure it doesn't scorch on the bottom. I'm going to take just a half a second here though, because I need to take the, let me get my knife here. Want to wash this off. Actually, yeah, I need to wash this knife off right here. Take my knife right here. Cut up the brie. With the skin on, I want the flavor of the skin. I'm going to cut up this brie and add it right to my cheese sauce here once it thickens up. This is going to take a few minutes though, So I think we need to take a little break. Let me get this cheese sauce going. We're going to take a little break. Then when we come back, I'll show you how we put our macaroni, ham, and cheese casserole together, as well as we'll check out our Murphy, where we're doing cold winter nights today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to the cold winter night food on Let's Cook today. Look at how good this cheese sauce looks right here. Doesn't this look fabulous? Now remember, this was made with the brie cheese, and we left the rind on that, so we need to strain that off. I have a china cap set up right here, and I'm just going to take my cheese sauce, and I have my noodles in here. I'm just going to strain it right into those noodles there. Next, right here, I have some butter and tomatoes. I have some plain breadcrumbs here. This I'm going to put right in here, and I'm just going to mix this together. This is a topping to go on my macaroni, ham, and cheese. Next, a little bit of prosciutto right here. Take our prosciutto. Just going to cut this up right here. Beautiful. Dice it up nice and small. So this is a very eclectic macaroni, ham, and cheese because I have fusilli noodles. I have brie cheese right here. I have prosciutto. Let me just stir this, get the rest of my cheese sauce through here. Doesn't this look great? Oh, and the flavors, the richness of this, out of this world. Now, we're just going to take this, mix this together. Oh, I'm getting very excited with this. Doesn't this look fabulous? Fantastic. Now, remember, you need a lot of cheese in there because I undercooked the fusilli a little bit. It's going to absorb some of that moisture. This goes into casserole right here. Oh. Then, this is definitely a 50s thing right here. Breadcrumbs, butter, even crackers and tomatoes. We put this right on top. This is going to caramelize so nicely. We put this in a 350-degree oven till it's golden brown and bubbly, which is exactly what I'm about to do. Get this in the oven. The pear tart looks out of this world. We're going to take a little break. And then when we come back, we're going to look at our pear tart, macaroni, ham, and cheese, and Paul's Chicken Murphy. Don't go anywhere. It's cold winter nights today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are doing cold winter night meals. Let's take a look at our pear tart here. This is beautiful. It's done. We have to allow this to rest a little bit. Oh, but looks fabulous, doesn't that? Oh, out of this world. In addition to the pear tart, oh, steaming a little bit here, we have our macaroni, ham, prosciutto ham, and cheese casserole. This is sizzling away. Doesn't that look fantastic? Out of this world. Oh, a little bit of prosciutto in there. Then we had the brie cheese that we used to make the cheese sauce with. Some fresh tomatoes, breadcrumbs, a little bit of butter on top. Very simple flavors. Definitely great for a warm winter meal. Now let's take a look at our Chicken Murphy here right now, okay? Look how good this looks. Doesn't this look great? Now this is all ready to serve. And the great thing about this in the winter is it's a one-pot meal. So I'm going to go ahead and start to set up the bowl with this because I would definitely serve this family style. Totally family style. So we have the brown chicken. We'll set the chicken on one side here. Beautiful. And we have the onions here with the sausage and the potatoes. Kind of set it up all together. The reason I cut the potatoes so large is so that they would not overcook in this item, but they're still nice and tender. Even a few of them have broken up with this. Out of this world. Oh. Then we have the sausage and the onions. I'm going to actually use a spider to get this in because unless you have the onions with the sausage here, it just won't work. Now the sauce, what we're going to do with the sauce, and we only have about a minute left in show, is we're just going to taste the sauce here to make sure that it's properly seasoned. And then we actually might even reduce it down. But remember, we have the cipollinis or the cipollini onions in there. Then we have the chicken, the potatoes, and the sausage to give it flavor. Oh, you know, I get a lot of requests through my website, and the person who sent in the request this year for Chicken Murphy, I really want to thank that individual because he inspired me to come up with this delicious version of Chicken Murphy that I'm actually going to call my own. You know, the winter's cold. We need hearty meals, and we want those that are going to warm us and remind us of our childhoods and our family. Hope you enjoy these meals. Thank you for watching Let's Cook, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.